All right. Hey, guys. How you doing? This is Sean Woods, the City of Coaches podcast. Got a special guest today, Coach Lenise Stallings over at Wiley College. How you doing, Coach?
I'm doing great. How are you?
I can't complain at all. Now, how's Mississippi going for you? Because you're in Mississippi right now, right?
Yeah, Mississippi is great. The weather is great. Some businesses are opening, but I don't leave the house much, but other than to work out. So I love it. It's great.
That's good. So you're over at Wiley College.
Mm-hmm.
Those of you who know me, I spent a short stint at Wiley College, small town, Marshall, Texas. Because you got like some little experience under your belt, man. You got some lot of the D1 experience too under your belt in the coaching as a player. You spent time at like Tennessee State, Mississippi Valley State. You were a coaching player there, right?
Yes,
so
sir.
So I have to ask you. So when you graduated from being a player, what made you want to go into being a graduate assistant or be a coach?
You know, my last year of my senior season, I was shooting in the gym, and I was just like, man, like, is this it? Like, am I about to be done with basketball? And something was just, I wanted to be around it still. And so I really don't know where that came from because my dad is a coach. So he's been a coach all my life. And I didn't want any parts of coaching. I majored in biology and I wanted to be in the hospital. I wanted to go to medical school. And so I remember shooting, I remember what goal I was on. I was by myself. I was always by myself in the gym shooting. And I was just like, I'm not ready to hang it up. And I knew I wasn't going to go play overseas because I had a daughter. So I don't know. It went from there. I told my coach at the time that I wanted to coach, and he helped me get back in. He's the one who brought me back as a grad assistant at Valley.
Well, I mean, obviously you made the right decision because you got like a little history on your belt. I have to stop you because I want to rewind real quick because I don't really know anybody from Mississippi that can hoop. But obviously you got the resume for it, and you wasn't what do you call as an implant. You actually came raised from Mississippi. What's the city you from again?
Hattiesburg.
What's the population of Hattiesburg?
You know, it's not country. Well, I don't know what people call country anymore, but like there's a mall and then there's a little strip mall. There's, you know what? The only thing we don't have that I said we need is a Dave & Buster's.
Okay.
The only thing, but like there's restaurants, there's places to go. Like it's a zoo. So it's not Nashville, but it's enough for me.
That's where you're from. It's home, right? So it's more comfortable. Yeah. So you're saying it's not a small city, but obviously it's not one of the popular cities like Dallas, stuff like that. So being a D1 recruit, what got you there? What got you even a scholarship offer? Like, what did you have coming out? Like, people need to know about this Mississippi stuff because I ain't gonna lie, I feel ignorant right now, but I'm gonna ask you. So let's go.
First of all, it's so many people coming from Mississippi. I went to Hattiesburg High School, and we were 5A at the time, which was the highest class. Now it's 6, and they went up to 6A, but then they went back down to 5A. So it's a really big school. Like, we have people going from the baseball team to major leagues.
Yes, that's true.
Signed D1, basketball players signed. Like, D1 is not a big deal at Hattiesburg High. Like, it's just a thing. And so my sister is what brought me to Mississippi Valley. I mean, they recruited me, but she was playing there before I was. So she graduated high school in 2008 and went to Valley. And so for me, it wasn't really much of a process. Like I knew I wanted to play with her. We went to the championship. It was called the Big House. In Mississippi, it's called the Big House, but it's a tournament. So we made it to the second round her senior year. And I remember we had an interview and I was just like, man, this was the last game that I played with my sister. And so I was like, I'm going to Valley because I get to play with her again. So that's what brought me there. I had other offers, and now that I've been around coaching, I realized that I had bigger offers, but I'm so glad, I chose Mississippi Valley. I'm so glad they chose me and they gave the opportunity because for me, basketball wasn't like, I love basketball. I literally only played because my daddy played and he coached, and then my sister played, and then there was no quitting. My daddy was like, once you start something, because My thing was to get an academic scholarship so that I wouldn't have to play basketball, but I still wanted to play with her, and obviously I guess I was a little good at it. So that's how
Humblest.
yeah, it was never about a D1 process. Like, it's so different now. But it was never about any of that. I just wanted to play with my sister again. So that's why I chose.
It sounds like you had a great opportunity, great career at the high school level as well. You
Yeah.
spent time as a player at, at the Valley as well. So you pretty much knew the walls for what, 8 years, pretty much? Oh, we
At
assisted there how many years? Yeah.
Well, she did like 1.5. So she didn't stay there and graduate. But yeah, I knew the ins and outs. When the coaches, especially when a new coach came after the coach who brought me in left, I knew, who to talk to about financial aid, academics. Like, there was nothing. And then if I didn't know, it was like, okay, look, I went to school here. This is Valley. So I need to know. So it was fun knowing all of those things, all the tricks and the trades to get kids, to make the most of their opportunity.
That makes total sense, though. So, like I said, we already told you were an assistant at Valley. So, how did Tennessee State come around? Because it's like you just moving up in the world. Like, so you get over at Tennessee State. So, what was the difference? Was it much difference, between the Missouri,
You
Mississippi
know
Valley?
what? I think every HBCU has those HBCU things. But yeah, it was very different. But the coach who came my third year as a coach at Valley, she bumped me up to assistant coach. And so she kept me on staff. And then when she got the job at Tennessee State, she took me with her, Coach Jessica.
Oh, okay, okay.
I'm extremely thankful for that. I didn't really know what I was doing other than she wanted me to come with her, and obviously, pay increase. Because Valley was my home. Like, I knew everything. They had just finished building that arena. So it was it wasn't like a bad situation. But it was just different. OVC is a little bit, well, a lot more competitive than the SWAC.
Yeah.
And then and I didn't know all of these things before I got there, but the athlete was a higher caliber athlete.
Of course, yeah.
I learned so much, and everywhere I go, like even at Wiley this past year, I've learned so much. But it was a no-brainer move. I just didn't know what I was getting myself into until I got there. And then, you just jump out there sometimes. It's like, I'm going. And then when you leave, it's like, wow, it was amazing. Like, Nashville is amazing. I don't want to live there anymore.
Yeah, but it's a good experience, right?
Yeah, man, Nashville was amazing. Coaching, just getting around the city, because that was my first big city that I lived in. So, yeah, that's how I got to Tennessee State.
We got the Tennessee State, and you guys did pretty decent over there at Tennessee State. So you're a winner. So, I have to ask you, how did Wiley College come on your radar? NAIA,
Yeah,
so,
so
yeah.
I'm sorry.
No, go ahead.
Wiley reached out, and they were looking for a candidate. So I didn't really know if I was ready to be a head coach. It really wasn't a goal of mine, to be completely honest with you. It was not. Lenise did not say, yeah, I want to be a head coach when people asked me, what was my end goal in coaching. I really just wanted to coach kids. That was my thing. So they called, and I went through the process, just kind of going through the process. I had phone interviews, and then I had it was like a Skype interview, and then I went on campus, and it kind of just kept happening. So it really didn't feel like, I had become a head coach until like that first game. It's like, okay.
Hey, really?
Yeah, like, because I don't know, work is not like working is what I do. One of my things is I don't want to be outworked. Like, I don't want to be outworked. I'm working out 3 times a day, but I don't want to be outworked. So when I got there and scholarships was needed to be done, paperwork needed to be done. I can't remember everything else I did, but it was just like work.
Yeah,
And so
hit the ground
practices,
running.
yeah, my assistant, she was good. We added another student assistant. So it was just like work, work, work. And then that first game, it's like, okay, I'm a coach. Because
Mm-hmm.
I never considered myself like a good coach, or I just try to work and I don't want to be outworked.
So like you were waiting your turn. Even though you wasn't doing it on purpose, you're waiting your
Right.
turn.
Yeah.
You know, because some people be like assistants and they think they're head coaches before they even actually
Mhm.
been the head. So you
Right.
had that experience. I have to say congrats. Obviously, your
Thank you.
career, with having your graduate degree as well as being a
Mhm.
coach, that's going to get you further if you decide to move up in the ranks as
Right.
the head coach. So
Mhm.
speaking of that, Wiley College, it's been a while. I'm sure you guys got more money from the time I was there. So, what type of athletes you guys get over there at Wiley College now?
You know what? We had the freshman of the year in the
Okay.
conference.
Mm-hmm.
Um, we, I had, I inherited the team, so I
Okay.
didn't do any recruiting. I brought in one kid, um, but she had already done recruiting, and then they wanted to stay. So,
Mm-hmm.
I welcomed anybody who chooses the school, that I'm at. And so there was a D1, two D1 transfers. One was already there. But it's some athletes,
I
you know,
like it.
it's some athletes, it's some dogs. Like,
Mm.
as you move up in the D1 world, you kind of get kids who are like finicky. I don't want that shoe. I want these type of tights. I want to roll my shorts 7 times. And you rolling
I'm
your eyes.
sorry, I've got flashbacks. So go ahead. I'm
Oh,
sorry.
yeah. So those kids, I told them, I mean, they're still kids. They're all, I told them, we're not wearing lashes on the court. We're not rolling our shorts. And they finally bought in, and they go hard. They don't, it doesn't take a lot to please them, although I wanted to, do so much for them. Um, they weren't needy. They weren't needy at all. So I guess that's type of, athlete there. I know the guys, were really good. The girls were good. And then the guys had a really good, I think, 2 years before I got
Mm.
there.
Okay.
So I mean it's transfers. They get we get transfers, JUCO, freshmen. I recruit all,
Yeah.
I want kids that want to be at Wiley.
Because you're going to get kids that's going to fall in. Even my experience as a college coach, I would get former D1 athletes that probably had great issues or whatever, or just needed a
Mhm.
second chance or a chance at all. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? It definitely sound like that, and definitely sound like you're building something good over there at the school. So to help people that don't know about Wiley College, what is it located? Obviously, I know where it's at, but
So
for
it's
records.
Marshall. It's in Marshall, Texas, which is considered East Texas.
Mm-hmm.
Most people know what Shreveport is. So it's about. It depends on who's driving. So I'm not going to tell you how long it takes me. Um, but it should take about 45 minutes from Shreveport. And then there's another city, Longview. I don't know if too many people know that, but it's like 30 minutes from Longview going toward Dallas. So we're just
Mm-hmm.
2.5 hours from Dallas, three 3 to 4 hours from Houston.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I know we're close to Arkansas, but I haven't gone, so I don't know how far. But Shreveport is, most people know, and we're like 45 minutes from there.
So if you got a recruit over in Arkansas, you going?
Absolutely. It's only 3 to 4. I think it's like 4 hours because I drove back to Nashville, and so I drove through Arkansas, but I didn't do it again, so I just don't remember how far. I was in Shreveport all the time. I was in Dallas all the time, so
Mm-hmm.
I know. Yeah.
Oh yeah, you going for it. What you got coming in this year? Uh, how many did you graduate? How many seniors did you graduate this year? Or
So
that's going to
four
graduate rather.
four seniors,
Mm-hmm.
2 graduated, but the other 2 will graduate. But yeah, so 4 seniors leaving. Everybody's coming back. We're the 6 that stay is coming
Mm-hmm.
back. And then right now we have five, five, four commits. Um, I'm sorry, 5 commits and 2 on the bubble. So what was needed was a point guard. So I'm still trying to seal that deal. But
Mm-hmm.
got our post player. coming back, who was freshman of the year. I wasn't trying to recruit over her at all, but I did need to recruit somebody who was going to battle and make her better. And I'm not somebody who recruits and knows who I'm going to play. I would love to clear my bench every game. But it's just trust. It's a trust thing for me. And I don't have a voice to yell. I think I'm yelling, but my kids, they think it's funny. So I'm gonna tell you, what the goal is in practice. It's up to you to buy in. And then once we get to the game, I see coaches that's just all up and down and screaming and hollering. I tell them I'm there to make adjustments. We have practiced, you know what to do, but don't forget that you're a basketball player at the end of the day. So we got some people who are gonna make us better.
It sounds like you said you got 5, so you like to keep around the 12, 13 range. You don't go all the way to 15.
Well, this is my first year. I'm sorry. This past year was my first year as a head coach, so it was my first time ever deciding.
Right. I get what you're saying.
I came in with 13, and like 4th game into the season, I had 10. So that's why I always say that's the 10 who stayed. So I noticed that teams that were beating us were playing 13 kids, 11, 12, 13 kids. And so our kids were tired. And at the beginning, we had 9 because one of my kids wasn't eligible until January, and we still won some games. But I don't want to get. It's my job as a coach to make those type of adjustments, to see, what are some of the reasons that we're losing? What are some of the reasons that we're getting tired? And so I did notice that we just didn't have enough sometimes. And so that's why. 5, 2, and so it's 6 returning. So that's 7 will make 12. And then, 13. Jesus, man. And I'm looking to have, at least 2, you get 2 who probably want to walk on or something like that. So I'm okay with 15.
Yeah, it sounds like it. It does.
Yeah.
The reason why I asked you that, because obviously, unfortunately, we deal with grades. We deal with all kind of different things to keep kids ineligible and stuff like that. So, you being my first active coach, a college coach on my podcast, I have to ask you, if that presented itself, grade issues, such things like that, what are some of the probationary periods you may have in place for players, stuff like that maybe have those issues? Hopefully, you never had it. Hopefully, you never did.
Right. Well, I really don't have to make a lot of the probationary periods because, NAIA, they have to be eligible to play.
Correct.
But in terms of, I'm not going to say that I'm a city kid because they get an F. I'm not too far removed from college. Didn't get an F, but some kids have different things going on, but if you're ineligible, we're going to go by the books. I'll help you any way that I can. I tell kids to tell me early. Tutoring is mandatory. Study hall is mandatory. But to let me know early if you're having issues. We haven't had any issues with kids who stayed, the 10 who stayed. And then coming into next year, Wiley redid their grading system for the virus. So nobody's.
Oh, they did? They changed the semester style, or they?
No, they changed their grade. The letter grades equals.
Okay.
And so they revamped that. And so nobody's going to be ineligible going in. But I did tell them, you can't just come in and, you're still I'm not going to sit you for an F, but you're going to run.
Right.
Because you just need to know, I want you to be your best self. So we're not going to accept failure. We're not even going to accept mediocrity. But I don't really have to put kids on punishment. All of my kids were serious about academics. I preach academics.
That's love. That's definitely. It sounds like Wiley is in a good situation academically with the female side, and I know the guys get a lot of athletes. I know Coach Jay just left the year prior, so I know he had some good academic kids and stuff like that. I know he's at New Orleans now. It's very exciting to hear. situation about HBCU because, that is a factor. It's one of the first ones. It was crazy because they were filming The Great Debaters when I was there. They were filming it on campus.
Okay.
So, yeah.
Yeah, I know it was filmed there, but I didn't know. I guess I couldn't remember what year, and I guess I didn't put two and two together when you say you were there. I want to watch that movie again just because I've been all over campus now and just see what I, can see in the movie.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, definitely I'd like to see Denzel and Journey Smollett and all them, and the Forrest Whitaker as well and stuff like that. So it's actually kind of cool. So I'm about to fly down to Marshall, Texas. It's a long drive from Houston. What airport you flying into now? Shreveport,
Louisiana? I've flown out of Shreveport, but most of the time I go to Dallas.
Okay. That makes sense. That's not too far. I was just in Texas a couple weeks ago, actually. Coronavirus. So it has to get fun now, right? That's the whole reason why the show. Okay. So shortly, your coaching style. What we got? What you got going on?
I'm screaming at the time. No, I'm kidding.
We know that's not right. We know that's not
running. I want us to outrun. Practice has to be, brutal. But I want us to outrun teams defensively.
So you're like up and down. You have like positionless basketball. I love the women's game. I love the women's game so much. I can never coach it, but I love it so much. It's the best. It's a fundamentals basis. I just love it as a coach. I just watch it. I remember when I was coach, I would watch some women games just to get some inspiration. So, definitely. So, I feel like I interrupt your answer. Did you play positions basketball pretty much, or?
I'm not gonna say positionless, but
transition.
That might be what it's called. But I want everybody to be able to take 1 and 2 dribbles. Like don't dribble, don't shoot. Like I want my big girls working on their 3. If we look at your form and we see that you can hit it, I've run plays for them to shoot a 3. So I guess that's a yes. I've never really heard that positionless basketball because
it's the day now.
Oh, okay. My point guard is my point guard, but I want 1 through 3, maybe even 4, to be able to start the transition. Like I don't want my point guard. We're waiting for the point guard every play, and that keeps going up and down. But so I guess you would say that.
Yeah, it's what I'm saying is like a loose communication. Like, of course, the center is not going to bring the ball to the court, but they'll outlet that rebound quick, right, out to one of the wings or something like that to get get in motion. That's what we say in position. It's like you're not just walking the ball up the court and then just dumping it to the paint, which is fun sometimes. Obviously, if you got the body for it.
Right now, and I've had to play that ball because nobody could do anything with my big girl. Like I say, she got freshman of the year. She almost averaged a double-double, but I know in the tournament she averaged a double-double. Like her highest was like 17 rebounds. Like nobody could do anything. And she was a freshman. So,
Might be out of there soon, Coach.
She has told me that she wants to be at Wiley. And so I don't think
you're going to take her word for it, right?
Right. That's right.
So, obviously you've been around some great staff. You know the game a lot. So, give me some coaches that have been your inspiration during your journey. That's coaching style. Not necessarily as a player, but someone like you look to as a coach, their coaching style.
So I'm really close with Coach Enoch, Ronnie Enoch. He's at Syracuse right now. We met at Valley. And I can talk to him about anything coaching because he's been around, I don't know how many years. He's older than me. So I'll probably say I'm closest with him. He hasn't been a head coach, but he's been around. So he knows.
Syracuse, I mean, they ain't letting nobody go. Go somewhere else.
He has been around. He has taught me so much. Like we say style, but like I needed help with recruiting. I couldn't recruit more than 2 or 3 kids at a time.
Right. Yeah.
And I went for the kid who I went for. So even if Houston or, UConn, not UConn, but if, I still went for kids, because it was the relationship piece. He taught me about the most important, or I guess the most effective thing was the recruiting piece. So as far as style of play, I liked Coach Robinson. I played for him my senior year, and then I coached under him, and he was mellow. Like he didn't yell, and there was no do this and then do this. He would teach a play, and it's like you move out of it. You know, you didn't move out of it. Obviously, I learned from Coach Kern, just working under her. And I met so many coaches based, just to get the networking piece and the relationship piece. But I have watched a lot of basketball that I don't correlate to coach. I will get it. I remember watching Gonzaga men, no idea who the coach was, but I was watching Gonzaga, I was watching BYU men. I watched South Carolina, obviously, Coach Staley, but as a coach, we teach things, and I've learned that like what they do might not be what you taught. It might not be
the systems,
right. It might not be what you wanted them to run. And so that's why I don't really correlate what I saw with the coach. And maybe I should do more of that, because I watch a lot of basketball. I watch a lot of basketball, and I definitely try to network, but I ask those questions that can help me become a better coach, like specifics. Coach Q at Syracuse, when I can sit him down, I ask him specifically, okay, when a team is, because he's a coach who wants to outscore. So I'm like, okay, so, you like this zone, but if the team is hitting threes, like, what's your adjustment? Like, that's my thing. And so I guess that's a style of play. But coaches that have had conversations with me know I will sit you down and be like, look, I'm serious right now. I need you to answer. And so I just take little nuggets from anybody. And Coach Enoch has a lot to do with that, because he puts me in front of a lot of people. He knows so many people. But he puts me in front of a lot of people. Patrick Mashuda is an AD now, but he was a coach, my mentor. And so I talked to him about a lot of the specifics. So yeah, I don't think I answered. I know I didn't answer your question, but
you did.
My dad is a coach too. So I've been around basketball all my life. Like he played JUCO basketball after I was born, because he went to the military. So he was 30 playing with guys 18 and 19 years old. And so, I've learned so much from him, and I can't tell you what his style is. I take little things, and it's like, okay, let me try this, or it's so many people who I would have to thank if I get on another podium.
Right. And you will, obviously, you're going to keep striving in your career. So it sounds like people that's been close to you. I mean, it's like what else, you asked a question, but I already knew the answer because you've already mentioned these people already. So it's already there. So yeah, you're inspired by the people that has affected your life so far in this journey in coaching. So that totally makes sense. So here's another question. I don't know if you're into WNBA or not. Are you into WNBA at all?
Yeah.
All right. So I have to ask you this question because you're my first women current coach. I had a women coach who coached prior before. Okay. So if you had 5 players in the WNBA that you can coach that actually would play together, can you name those players? That would be
I want to coach.
Yes, not just play with them. That you can actually think your system that you created will work good with them.
I don't see. I thought you was gonna ask me for my favorite 5. Because I grew
your
up.
Your favorite color? Is that what you want?
No, I thought you were gonna ask me my favorite 5.
Oh, okay.
I grew up in the Cynthia Cooper era, but doesn't mean I want to coach her,
All right. So we'll go Cynthia Cooper. What else we got? Like players that you would.
That Cynthia I would want to coach. Okay. I would say Cynthia Cooper, Breanna Stewart.
Ooh, that's a good one too. Pick and roll day. Like that.
She's so versatile. Ooh. Ooh. You know what? I don't know if I can have both of these on the same team, but Sue Bird. Coop played point guard when she played.
Coop could just hold her soup. She could shoot, so that's your 2.
But she played point.
But you can move her over for Coop though, for sure. That ain't even a question.
So those three, I need a big man. I I played against this girl and I'm terrified of her. I should probably say Brittany Griner. Oh man, and probably I'm thinking of a four. Let me- I can't say. Can I say Asia Wilson? Are they gonna run into each other?
No, Asia will run out the way of Brittany for sure. And Brittany, she's gonna stay in the block. She does. I watch her play.
Asia can move around.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
see her play. I mean, I go to the games all the time, the Mercury
Okay.
games. So I definitely see. Yeah, Brittany will stay in the post. So Asia, she can move around, no problem.
I guess I would say them and not like double, but there's so many that I love.
Yeah,
Watching
the
it.
game is evolving too.
You said what?
The game is evolving, getting more respect. You know, they're getting better contracts now. I'm pretty sure you would have tried. They had this type of money now. Y'all bet you would have tried at least once. So, well, I have to ask it that because that's very important when you keep these young ladies involved, and you see the coach. I'm like, all right, well, who worked this this Last Dance doc? So, who's your favorite basketball in general all time basketball player?
Women or men?
Men, all doesn't matter.
Yeah, that's difficult for me, and I want to go back to and say another coach is Coach Armenti Price, or I forgot her married name, but she is one that I ask a lot of questions by. So, but my favorite, I'm a woman, and I like men, so I hate to say the name because I'm supposed to like have a woman as my favorite player, right?
Why is that? No, it's 2020. It's like
So Rajon Rondo is my guy.
Oh my goodness, Rajon
But
Rondo,
it has
huh?
evolved. Like it started out with AI.
Mm-hmm.
So it was AI, then it was Tracy McGrady, and then it was Dwayne Wade, and now it's Rajon Rondo.
I feel like you see yourself in a lot of those players, right?
Yeah.
So that's where it's at. That's where we get it at. I like
Rondo can't shoot, but I have played point guard.
He facilitate unbelievably. A great facilitator. I think if they had like a couple more years in Boston prior with the big three, they probably would have won at least two more.
That's when I started liking him. So yeah.
And he's still a floor general. He did okay with the Pelican too over there for that one season. So Rondo definitely.
Lakers was gonna win it all, and I've never been a Laker fan ever, but I was gonna be a Laker fan this year.
You gonna be a Laker fan for Rondo, or just in general? Well, I mean, you have to ask the question because a lot of people are like, "I'm not my favorite," but then you be like, "Well, who you got your favorite player that you would want to be on the court with you?" Don't really ask that question. So I thank you for answering that question. So, obviously the last Dance documentary just came out, and I'm not gonna actually give me a breakdown on that because that's irrelevant. It's over with. So, if you had your choice, what two players you would want to make a long 10-part documentary on? I say Cheryl Miller, but other people, I think HBO just did something on her recently.
Cynthia Cooper.
Mm-hmm.
And that's because I've read her book. Cynthia Cooper and probably
Cheryl Swoops. Let's put them together.
Coaches now. She's in my field. I'm just trying to think of people, and Cynthia Cooper coaches too, but she
that's what I'm saying.
It's so many things that people don't know. She wrote, she says it in her book, but I love a story. I love a good story. I love somebody who overcame adversity, and I know all of us have. I know a little bit about hers just reading her book.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know, probably Ray Allen. That's my favorite.
Ray Allen. Yeah,
My
okay.
favorite school.
You know, his would be good because no one really knows anything.
Because he's so quiet.
Yeah, you don't know it. Yeah, I mean, he's been popping up on Instagram now, but outside of that, you really don't know anything.
Mm-hmm.
Like he's popping up. He be in Iceland, like fishing and stuff now. Like he really enjoying his retirement thing.
Yeah.
So you know,
And
you
like
had
I
the
would
long.
say family oriented coaches. Like
Mm,
coaches, and it's like coaches have husbands and kids. I'm like, I want to see the family, I'm into that.
it's a package deal, right?
Yeah.
Right, and you know, as we talk in pre-production, like that could be very interesting going down that road, and it's a good success for some people, and some people it's not. I had to ask you, since you really have had this long. I'm gonna tell you right now, I like your resume. Okay, I love your resume. I love everything, from being a graduate assistant to being an assistant at two Division I colleges, and deciding to go into Wiley College, NAIA, and obviously you have a long future ahead of yourself. You're still young, bright, smart, nice. You just finished your first year at Wiley. You feel like you had an okay season, right? You feel like you had a good season. You got some development players, stuff like that.
For sure.
With this Zoom stuff going on, and I say Zoom stuff, but I meant like coronavirus and stuff like that. Like, how are you handling recruits, and like how do you handle your current players? And one other question before I let you take over, like, how do you feel it's going to affect the beginning of the season?
So it was very important for us to try to live life as normal as possible when they were let go, like told to go home back in March.
Yeah.
It was very important for us to like meet every week. My assistants and I, we were talking to kids every day. And we were having and then they had to check in to work out. Like, you got to let me know when you start and let me know when you finish, and periodically, which was a lot. I would say, what'd you do? So it was very important for us to finish through the year like we were on campus. So they were still meeting for their classes. I told them what grades were acceptable and what were not, even with this grade policy change. So that was important, to just not let them go and be like, all right, fend for yourself, So we got on Zoom and we talked about academics. We talked about, how you can get better. How's your mile time? What are you working on? But we also talked about hair. Like, girls can't get their hair done, unless you know your hair. We talked about nails. We talked about family members and how this was affecting everybody. So that was important. Mental awareness is important, and I don't call myself like, I'm not educated enough on it to like lead different sessions or talk about different things, but I try to just be available. Like, prayer is my weapon. So, for people that know me, you can call me with a problem, but I'm probably just gonna, one, listen, and two, pray. Like, most of the time it's not, well, you should. I can't stand when people tell me or tell other people what they should do. It's just like, no, pray about it. Did you pray about it? Did you get it from God? Because don't. But anyway, that's my God rant.
Ain't nothing wrong with it. Do your thing.
So that was important for us to do, and we stayed on it. And then you asked about recruiting in this period. It never stopped. Most of the recruits I knew before the virus happened. I got to watch most of them play. Even if they came to Wiley for a tryout, came to work out, or just film. I got to see all of them play. So we had already established a relationship before the virus hit. So it was just about them committing when they wanted to. So they started committing, and for me, when people kept asking, it was just life. The only thing that I wasn't doing was going to the office.
Right.
That's the thing people don't understand about coaches. A lot of times we ain't in the office a lot in the off season anyway, unless you got a boss who's like, yeah, you're here from 9 to 5. Like, you're D1, you're working on camps and stuff like that. But so much of that stuff you can do at home.
Right. Yeah.
So, I know most people outside of the season, they're like 4 to 5 hours in the office. So we're watching film, we're still watching film, getting better. We're still meeting. We're still recruiting. Like nothing stopped. The only thing that stopped was physically going in the office. And like I can't say, well, D1 to NAIA recruiting is different, right? D1, you got this mass budget to go everywhere.
Yes, you do.
10 states in July. I wasn't doing that anyway this year. So, obviously July changed. I would have probably gone to 2 major ones, but you just don't have the budget to mass recruit.
Right.
If it's coming out of, Stallings pockets, I'm just not,
No, I've been there.
That
Trust me, I know. Yeah.
That budget is not to go to 10 states in July. So, we were probably going to go to about 2 tournaments in July. So that's why I say it hasn't changed much.
Anyway, because it's you're heading into your summer season too, so it hasn't changed too much yet.
Right.
I
think from the perspective of community, in terms of like seeing people, I think it hit us hard. Now we're talking to everybody through a screen. I remember telling people like, you need to come see me. It was big to see people, to touch people. Like that's a big deal for me. When I don't go too far where I can't come see my parents. They come see me coach. They come see, so that family, community piece is important. And then the last question, I can't remember.
Oh, you did cover it. You covered the last question. Okay. Yeah, it was basically how you're doing with what are you going to do into the next season? Like once you guys get the ball, physically get the ball going. Like what is preseason like?
You know what? I am curious. I think that I've seen some talks of canceling the fall, and I said this to another coach, like I honestly wouldn't mind if we just play conference, as long as we have a vaccine, we just play our conference games. We would start behind, but everybody's starting behind. Like, well, you got to keep your kids engaged. Everybody has to keep their kids engaged.
Right.
There is no upper hand when it comes to, okay, we're cutting everything out except conference this year.
Okay.
But I have no idea. Like, they're still talking about July tournaments, and it's just like, I've seen we're gonna have this infrared thing that you're gonna walk under, check your temperature. But then somebody said, so if a player has a fever, are you gonna, escort the whole team out? They said no. And so for me, the virus is serious because my dad has a weak immune system. And so that's why I'm not going. I don't go many places.
You don't want to risk your relatives in that matter.
Right. So I can only imagine other people. Then I have a 7-year-old. Like nothing is that important. Not nothing. We need to be at home reading our Bibles and, talking to Jesus anyway. So I'm very curious. I'm anxious almost, even though the Bible says don't be anxious, to see what's going to happen because, I'm like, I want to see how much people care about people, all the while still, participating in this competitive sport that we all love, that we all live by. By no means do I want it to wipe it out. I still want it to be fun, but like, I don't want to be in practice with a mask on.
Right. I get it. Totally. I mean, I went to the gym today with a mask on. I was like, yo, I'm about to really work out forever with a mask on. I had to hit you real quick. You mentioned your daughter. She says she's 7, correct?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. She does basketball look like it's in her life? What is her situation? Yeah.
She's 7. And so the people who have 7-year-olds know they're into everything. But she's tall, so she's always been like in the 90 percentile for her age. she's a slim thing. But she was into gymnastics. She's really good at
Mm-hmm.
flipping off of anything, jumping into splits, like cartwheels, round offs. And I enjoy watching her do that because she enjoyed it. But lately she has wanted to do basketball. Obviously a basketball family. My dad coaches. My sister played, and then my little brother who's graduating high school, he just finished playing. So she's around it all the time. Her
Right.
dad
Yeah.
basketball. So she's gotten into basketball, but then like since we've been here, she's into soccer. And then I realized she walks with us to go work out. She got up to 4 laps today. So, it looks like she can run track, but whatever she wants to do, I'm going to allow her to do, but I'm not doing any basketball lessons.
You say it now. Once they start showing that interest, well, hold on. You actually can.
No, my brother, like she'll go to the gym with my dad and my brother, and they have like sessions, like
right, because you have your support system.
When we was doing soccer, and the little bit that I know about sports, I'm like, you gotta be your knees, you gotta slide your feet. Well, I had to say it like 7 times, like, I almost walked off the field, like, no. And I said this is why I don't want to, because I don't want to mess up our relationship. Like I value parenting. I value, that I've been given this opportunity to parent, regardless of how it came about, doing things I had no business doing. Like this relationship is important to me. The second most important relationship to me, besides my relationship with God. And so I don't want to fail at that either. Like not being outworked, not failing, that's in every aspect of my life. Not just basketball, not just coaching, people. I don't want to fail with people.
I'm definitely excited, Coach. I know, with your experience, I don't know, with me and women coaches who are parents, like I just wait for y'all books. I just wait for you guys to write that book. I just wait for it because, like I said, most of my coaching inspiration comes from women coaches and stuff like that. Just because of the style, the intimacy, like the communication, how you may deal with trial and tribulation, stuff like that. I feel like women coaches have the opportunity to really create a real bond that lasts for a long time. I think my older sister still calls her college coach to this day. She graduated college almost 19 years ago. So yeah, you're gonna have your young ladies contacting you for sure. I definitely want to thank you for the opportunity for you coming on the podcast, talking to me, giving us some information. I'm definitely look forward to see what's going on, what you got coming this season. I'm actually going to come out now. I gotta come out now. I gotta come out because I gotta see what you got going on. I gotta see. Definitely the world gets to see, and definitely take an opportunity to put the HBCU. Let people know the HBCUs are out here running. It's not just Howard. It's not just some of the big name HBCUs. Obviously, it's hundreds of us across the country and stuff like that. And Coach, obviously, I see you being safe in Mississippi and stuff like that. And like I said, I want to thank you for coming on. Thank you, guys. That was the City Coaches Podcast with Coach Stallings. I really appreciate you so much. I look forward to you guys. If you guys have any questions, reach out. Coach, can you give me a handle? Do you have any social media, anything like that, like for the public?
Yeah, my Twitter is my name. I'll use my name, so it's Lenise Stallings. I think my Twitter is Coach L Stallings. My Instagram is Coach L Stallings, but it's not. I'm not really on social media.
Well, everybody do their Googles. You'll find Coach very easily. I found you very like that. So obviously somebody got you in the right place. Definitely, Coach. Thank you so much. I appreciate you coming on.
Thank you.
No problem.